what Pedro Neto said when asked if he could leave Wolves for Tottenham this summer. Welcome back to Tottenham News Today channel. Before we dive into this transfer update, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay updated with all the latest news. Tottenham are now just hours away from making their return to home soil to complete the final steps of their pre-season efforts. One player who Tottenham are believed to be keen on signing this summer is Wolves winger Pedro Neto, and the Portuguese forward has just opened up on what may lie ahead for him in the coming weeks. Eberechi Eze is another player who Spurs like this summer, but a deal with Crystal Palace could prove expensive due to their demands over the structure of a deal. But Neto is also a name that those in North London are keen on ahead of the new season, given what he has shown during his time in the Premier League. Perhaps the only real concern over the Portuguese winger is his injury record, which leaves a lot to be desired. Speaking from the launch of Wolves' away kit, Pedro Neto did comment when asked whether he would be remaining at Molineux this summer. "I love this club. I'm really happy to be here and take this team to another level," Pedro Neto replied. In all fairness, Neto did not exactly give a definitive yes or no, perhaps as expected, which could well suggest that he did not want to rule out the possibility of leaving. Also, had he admitted he could leave, it would have put a little bit of a downer on what was supposed to be a celebratory event. Usually, managers tend to put up a front when they are at risk of losing their best players. Being defensive and suggesting their club will not be selling their prized asset 2 weeks before the new season is usually the way it tends to go. However, the Wolves boss, Gary O'Neill, recently issued a surprisingly honest verdict when asked whether Neto could be sold this summer. But of course, it can change really quickly. If a massive bid comes in from a top club, then no one will stand in Pedro's way, O'Neill said. "I don't think about other clubs." Cristian Romero opens up on his Spurs future. Cristian Romero has ruled out the idea of swapping Tottenham for another club, insisting that he is fully focused on achieving success at Spurs. Romero is now one of the leaders of the Spurs changing room, with the centre-back having been made vice-captain by Ange Postecoglou. The 26-year-old is undoubtedly one of the most important members of the Australians' project, but there have been some murmurs this summer about the defender potentially emerging as a target for the likes of Real Madrid. Romero has already achieved legendary status back in his home country, playing a crucial role in Argentina's World Cup triumphs and back-to-back Copa America titles. The press in the South American country thus seem enthused at the prospect of the centre-back moving to one of the elite clubs in Europe. But Romero has now shut down the transfer talk, insisting that he remains happy at the North London side. When asked about potentially leaving Spurs, he told ESPN, "I always strive to play at my best. I have a lot of respect for Tottenham. They've always given me a lot of support here, so I like playing here. I don't think about other clubs or their possibilities. I know there's a lot of talk about a possible move, but I'm calm. At my club, I play differently to the national team, more forward. I still have years left in Europe and I want to see where I can go. Hopefully this year we can win a title at Tottenham. This will be music to the ears of Tottenham fans, as it is crucial that Romero is committed to the project. However, if Spurs are not able to compete for honours during the upcoming season, the centre-back's head could be turned next summer, as he is undoubtedly one of the best in the world right now. Tottenham's efforts to sign Eberechi Eze have encountered a significant obstacle due to Crystal Palace's financial demands. Gary Jacob of The Times reports that while Spurs is eager to secure Eze's services, Palace's insistence on receiving the bulk of the transfer fee up front has complicated the negotiations. The Lilywhites are reportedly willing to meet Eze's £60 million release clause, plus an additional £8 million in potential add-ons, bringing the total to £68 million. However, the requirement to pay a substantial portion of this fee immediately might prompt Tottenham to rethink their strategy or consider alternative targets. Eberechi Eze, who extended his contract with Palace last November until the summer of 2027, has been a primary target for Spurs for some time. His standout performance last season, where he scored 11 goals and provided 4 assists in 27 Premier League appearances, has made him a highly coveted player. The club believes that under the guidance of manager Ange Postecoglou, Eberechi Eze could make a significant impact on the squad. Eberechi Eze's talents also earned him a spot in England's final 26-man squad for the recent Euros, further highlighting his prowess on the international stage. Tottenham have demonstrated their serious interest by inviting Ez's entourage to several home games last season. However, Crystal Palace's demand for an upfront payment could be a major hurdle in finalising the deal. While Spurs remains convinced of Ez's value, the financial requirements might lead the club to explore other options as the transfer window progresses. Tottenham's reported pursuit of Ivan Toney may come to nothing this summer, with Brentford now likely to keep hold of the striker, whether they like it or not. The reasons are twofold, according to the latest from Sky Sports. First of all, it has been said that the knee injury sustained by new signing Igor Thiago could tempt Brentford into wanting to keep hold of Toney. However, Toney sticking around would apparently be little more than a bonus for Brentford. Still, if an offer were to come in for the England international, it is thought Brentford would have a decision to make on his future. The 28-year-old has a year left on his current contract, and while he was previously considered hot property, there have been no offers for him yet this summer. Instead, it is suggested clubs may prefer to sign him next year for free, given the nature of the transfer market right now amid profitability and sustainability rules. In fact, even top clubs are now looking to sign younger players who might have better sell-on potential in the future, with a view to protecting against huge losses on their investments. Now, it is suggested Thiago's injury actually changes nothing for Brentford. The Brazilian striker will be out until the end of the year. But if the Bees were to receive an offer for Toney, they would still consider it. Spurs have been linked with Toney for quite some time now, with the Mirror recently claiming the Lilywhites were still very much monitoring his situation as they look for a new striker. I do think that if we really wanted Toney, we would have made a move for him by now. It's clear Brentford want or need to sell him, and his price has dropped to well within our range. I think there are better options out there, who would probably cost less and would be younger too. That's all for today's update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with all things Tottenham, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications on our latest content. Don't forget to like this video and share it with fellow Spurs supporters. Let's grow our Tottenham News Today community together. Thanks for watching, and as always, come on you Spurs!